The 48 Laws of Power. Book by Robert Greene. Detailed summary. Law 1. Never outshine the master. The first law of power is to never outshine the master. This law is based on a very simple concept. If you show up your superiors or make them look bad, they will feel threatened by you, become insecure and take action against you. According to the author, there are several reasons why you should never outshine your master, such as 1. It is dangerous to be more successful than your superiors because they will resent you and try to undermine you. 2. If you do outshine them, it will make them feel incompetent and powerless, which can be a very dangerous position to put yourself in. 3. If you are perceived as a threat, your superiors will start to view you as an enemy, and they will be much more likely to try to eliminate you. Greene offers several examples of people who broke this law, such as the biblical character Joseph, who became the favorite of the Pharaoh and was later thrown into jail by jealous courtiers. He also cites the example of comedian Charlie Chaplin, who was fired by his director for being too good, and tennis player Bobby Riggs, who insulted and belittled women players and then lost a match to Billie Jean King in what became known as the Battle of the Sexes. To avoid outshining your superiors, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Play down your accomplishments and make it seem like they are the result of the guidance and support of your superiors. 2. Make your superiors look good by allowing them to take credit for your successes. 3. Flatter your superiors and make them feel important. 4. Follow the rules and don't be too innovative or creative. 5. Anticipate your superiors' needs and provide them with what they want before they ask for it. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. In order to succeed in any hierarchical system, it is important to avoid outshining your superiors and instead, make them look good and feel important. By doing this, you will avoid their envy and jealousy, and you will be able to climb the ladder of success without facing any obstacles. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. The second law of power is to never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. This law is based on the idea that friends can become complacent and take advantage of your trust, while enemies are more motivated to help you because they have something to gain. According to the author, there are several reasons why you should not put too much trust in friends and instead learn how to use enemies. 1. Friends can become complacent and take advantage of your trust, while enemies are motivated to help you because they have something to gain. 2. By using your enemies, you can turn their negative energy into something positive that benefits you. 3. Using your enemies can also help you gain valuable information that you may not be able to get from your friends. Greene offers several examples of people who broke this law, such as Julius Caesar, who trusted his friend Brutus and was betrayed by him, and Alcibiades, who trusted his friend Tissaphernes and was exiled by him. He also cites the example of Napoleon Bonaparte, who used his enemies to gain valuable information about his enemies. To learn how to use enemies to your advantage, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Keep your enemies close and study them carefully. 2. Use flattery to disarm your enemies and make them think that you are on their side. 3. Turn your enemies against each other and let them fight among themselves. 4. Find common ground with your enemies and work together on projects that benefit both of you. 5. Use your enemies' weaknesses against them and exploit their vulnerabilities. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. It is important to be cautious with friends and to learn how to use enemies to your advantage. By doing this, you can turn negative energy into something positive that benefits you, gain valuable information, and stay ahead of the game. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. The third law of power is to conceal your intentions. This law is based on the idea that people will be more likely to underestimate you and reveal their own intentions if they are unaware of yours. According to the author, there are several reasons why you should conceal your intentions, such as 1. If people know what you are planning, they may try to sabotage your efforts. 2. By concealing your intentions, you can gain the upper hand in negotiations and other interactions. 3. If people are not aware of your intentions, they will be more likely to reveal their own intentions to you. Greene offers several examples of people who successfully concealed their intentions, such as the Chinese general Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War and emphasized the importance of deception in warfare. He also cites the example of Charles Maurice de Talleyrand, a French diplomat who was known for his ability to conceal his intentions and manipulate people to his advantage. To successfully conceal your intentions, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Use misdirection to make people focus on something other than your real intentions. 2. Use decoys and distractions to confuse people and make it harder for them to figure out what you are really planning. 3. Use false sincerity to gain people's trust and make them more likely to reveal their own intentions. 4. Use vague language and ambiguity to avoid revealing too much about your plans. 5. Play on people's emotions and desires to distract them from your true intentions. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. It is important to conceal your intentions in order to gain the upper hand in negotiations and other interactions. By doing this, you can avoid sabotage, get people to reveal their own intentions, and ultimately achieve your goals more effectively. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. The fourth law of power is to always say less than necessary. This law is based on the idea that people are often more impressed by what you don't say than by what you do say, and that speaking too much can make you appear weak or desperate. According to the author, there are several reasons why you should always say less than necessary, such as 1. If you talk too much, you may reveal information that can be used against you. 2. By speaking less, you can make yourself appear more mysterious and powerful. 3. If you don't say much, people will be more likely to pay attention to what you do say. Greene offers several examples of people who successfully applied this law, such as President Calvin Coolidge, who was known for his laconic style of speaking and was sometimes referred to as Silent Cal. He also cites the example of the Chinese philosopher Confucius, who emphasized the importance of speaking less and listening more. To apply this law effectively, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Speak only when necessary, and avoid talking just for the sake of talking. 2. Keep your words short and to the point, and avoid using unnecessary jargon or complicated language. 3. Listen more than you speak, and use what you learn to your advantage. 4. Avoid revealing your thoughts or feelings unless absolutely necessary. 5. Use pauses and silences strategically to create a sense of anticipation and mystery. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. It is important to always say less than necessary in order to appear more powerful and mysterious. By doing this, you can avoid revealing information that can be used against you, make people pay more attention to what you do say, and ultimately achieve your goals more effectively. Law 5. So much depends on reputation guarded with your life. The fifth law of power is to guard your reputation with your life. According to the author, reputation is one of the most important assets you have, and it can determine how people treat you and whether you achieve success or failure. Greene explains that reputation is not just about how others perceive you, but also about how you perceive yourself. He argues that having a strong sense of self-respect and self-esteem is essential to maintaining a good reputation. To guard your reputation, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Always act with integrity, and avoid doing things that could damage your reputation. 2. Take responsibility for your actions, and be willing to admit when you are wrong. 3. Build a reputation for excellence by consistently delivering high-quality work. 4. Cultivate a sense of mystery and intrigue around yourself to enhance your reputation. 5. Use public relations and marketing strategies to shape how people perceive you. 6. Be careful who you associate with, and avoid being seen with people who have a bad reputation. 7. Never let your guard down, and always be aware of how your actions could affect your reputation. Greene also warns that reputation can be fragile, and that it only takes one mistake or misstep to damage it. He advises being proactive in guarding your reputation, rather than waiting for a crisis to occur. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. Reputation is one of the most important assets you have, and it is essential to guard it with your life. By acting with integrity, delivering high-quality work, cultivating a sense of mystery, and being careful who you associate with, you can enhance your reputation and ultimately achieve success. Law 6. Court attention at all cost. The sixth law of power is to court attention at all costs. According to the author, attention is a valuable resource that can help you gain power and influence. The more attention you attract, the more people will be interested in what you have to say or offer. Greene explains that there are several reasons why you should court attention, such as 1. Attention can help you gain support and followers. 2. Attention can help you promote your ideas or products. 3. Attention can help you gain the upper hand in negotiations or conflicts. To court attention, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Be bold and daring, and don't be afraid to take risks. 2. Create a sense of drama and excitement around yourself or your products. 3. Use shock tactics or controversy to grab people's attention. 4. Use humor or wit to make yourself more likable and memorable. 5. Use visual cues or symbols to create a powerful impression. 6. Be persistent and consistent in your efforts to court attention. However, Greene also warns that there are risks associated with courting attention. Attention can be fickle, and what grabs people's attention one day may not be effective the next. Additionally, attention can attract both supporters and enemies, and it is important to be prepared for both. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear: attention is a valuable resource that can help you gain power and influence, and it is essential to court attention at all costs. By being bold and daring, creating drama and excitement, using shock tactics or humor, and being persistent in your efforts, you can grab people's attention and ultimately achieve your goals. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. The seventh law of power is to get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. According to the author, taking credit for others' work is a common strategy used by successful people to advance their careers and gain power. Greene explains that there are several reasons why taking credit for others' work is effective, such as 1. It can make you appear more capable and successful. 2. It can make others feel indebted to you, which can be useful in negotiations. 3. It can help you build a reputation for excellence and achievement. To get others to do the work for you, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Delegate tasks to others, and give them clear instructions on what you expect. 2. Monitor their progress closely, and provide feedback or guidance as needed. 3. Motivate them by setting clear goals and providing incentives for success. 4. Build a team of loyal followers who are committed to your success. 5. Take credit for their work by emphasizing your role in their success. However, Greene also warns that there are risks associated with taking credit for others' work. It can damage your relationships with others, and it can make people resentful or angry. Additionally, taking credit for work that you did not do can damage your reputation if you are exposed. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear: taking credit for others' work is an effective way to advance your career and gain power, but it is important to do so carefully. By delegating tasks, monitoring progress, motivating your team, building loyal followers, and taking credit for their work, you can achieve success and build a reputation for excellence. However, it is important to be aware of the risks and potential consequences of taking credit for others' work. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. The 8th law of power is to make other people come to you, and if necessary, use bait to lure them in. According to the author, making others come to you can help you gain power and control over a situation, while bait can be used to make people more receptive to your ideas or offers. Greene explains that there are several reasons why making others come to you is effective, such as 1. It can give you an advantage in negotiations or conflicts. 2. It can make others feel indebted to you, which can be useful in future interactions. 3. It can give you more control over the situation, and allow you to dictate the terms of the interaction. To make others come to you, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Build an aura of mystery and intrigue around yourself or your ideas. 2. Create a sense of urgency or scarcity to make others more interested in what you have to offer. 3. Use social proof or testimonials to demonstrate your value or expertise. 4. Use reciprocity to make others feel obligated to help you. 5. Use flattery or compliments to make others feel good about themselves. 6. Use scarcity or exclusivity to create a sense of desire for what you have to offer. However, Greene also warns that there are risks associated with using bait to lure people in. Bait can be seen as manipulative or dishonest, and it can damage your reputation if you are exposed. Additionally, making others come to you can be ineffective if you do not have a strong value proposition or a clear advantage in the situation. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. Making others come to you can help you gain power and control over a situation, while bait can be used to make people more receptive to your ideas or offers. By building an aura of mystery, creating urgency or scarcity, using social proof or reciprocity, and using flattery or exclusivity, you can attract others to you and achieve your goals. However, it is important to be aware of the risks and potential consequences of using bait to lure people in, and to ensure that you have a strong value proposition to offer. Law 9: Win through your actions, never through argument. The 9th law of power is to win through your actions, never through argument. According to the author, actions speak louder than words, and those who can demonstrate their power and competence through action will ultimately prevail over those who rely on argument or debate. Greene explains that there are several reasons why winning through action is effective, such as 1. It can demonstrate your power and competence in a tangible way. 2. It can show others that you are willing to take risks and make bold moves. 3. It can make you appear more confident and decisive. To win through your actions, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Focus on results rather than process. People care more about what you achieve than how you achieve it. 2. Take bold actions and risks that demonstrate your confidence and willingness to take charge. 3. Be strategic in your actions, and consider the long-term consequences of your decisions. 4. Use your actions to inspire and motivate others, and create a sense of momentum around your goals. 5. Do not get bogged down in arguments or debates that distract from your goals. However, Greene also warns that there are risks associated with winning through action. Taking bold risks can lead to failure or backlash, and it can damage your reputation if you are not careful. Additionally, winning through action can be ineffective if you do not have a clear strategy or goal in mind. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. Winning through your actions is an effective way to demonstrate your power and competence, and ultimately achieve your goals. By focusing on results, taking bold actions, being strategic, inspiring others, and avoiding distractions, you can create a sense of momentum and achieve success. However, it is important to be aware of the risks and potential consequences of taking bold risks, and to ensure that you have a clear strategy and goal in mind. Law 10: Infection: Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. The 10th law of power is to avoid the unhappy and unlucky. According to the author, negative and unhappy people can be contagious, and being associated with them can drag you down and damage your reputation. Greene explains that there are several reasons why avoiding unhappy and unlucky people is effective, such as 1. Negative people can drain your energy and enthusiasm. 2. Being associated with negative people can damage your reputation and make you appear weak or vulnerable. 3. Negative people can be toxic and spread their negativity to others. To avoid the unhappy and unlucky, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Surround yourself with positive, successful people who can inspire and motivate you. 2. Be selective in the company you keep, and avoid associating with negative or toxic people. 3. Create a sense of exclusivity around yourself, and only associate with those who can benefit you in some way. 4. Be aware of the power of association, and how being associated with certain people can affect your reputation. However, Greene also warns that there are risks associated with avoiding the unhappy and unlucky. Excluding people can make you appear arrogant or elitist, and it can limit your opportunities for growth and learning. Additionally, avoiding negative or unhappy people can be ineffective if you do not address the root causes of their negativity. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. Avoiding the unhappy and unlucky is an effective way to protect your energy and reputation, and surround yourself with positive, successful people who can inspire and motivate you. By being selective in the company you keep, creating a sense of exclusivity, and being aware of the power of association, you can maintain a positive image and attract success. However, it is important to be aware of the risks and potential consequences of excluding people, and to address the root causes of negativity and unhappiness in your own life. Law 11: Learn to keep people dependent on you. The 11th law of power is to learn to keep people dependent on you. According to the author, being indispensable to others is a key source of power, and those who can create dependencies in others will ultimately have the upper hand in any relationship. Greene explains that there are several reasons why keeping people dependent on you is effective, such as 1. It gives you leverage and control in any relationship. 2. It creates a sense of loyalty and obligation in others. 3. It can make you indispensable and difficult to replace. To keep people dependent on you, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Cultivate a unique and valuable skill or expertise that others rely on. 2. Be generous and helpful to others, but in a way that creates a sense of obligation or indebtedness. 3. Make others feel that they need your guidance or leadership to succeed. 4. Create a sense of exclusivity around yourself, and only share your knowledge or expertise with those who are dependent on you. 5. Be aware of your own power, and use it strategically to maintain control and influence. However, Greene also warns that there are risks associated with keeping people dependent on you. Creating dependencies can make you appear manipulative or controlling, and it can damage your relationships if not done carefully. Additionally, relying too heavily on the dependencies you create can make you complacent and overconfident. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear: learning to keep people dependent on you is an effective way to gain and maintain power. By cultivating unique skills, creating a sense of obligation, and using your influence strategically, you can become indispensable to others and maintain control in any relationship. However, it is important to be aware of the risks and potential consequences of creating dependencies, and to maintain a balance between control and flexibility. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. The 12th law of power is to use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. According to the author, being open and honest with others can be a powerful tool for gaining their trust and disarming their defenses, particularly if used selectively and strategically. Greene explains that there are several reasons why selective honesty and generosity are effective, such as 1. It creates a sense of reciprocity in others, making them more likely to trust and cooperate with you. 2. It disarms others by making them feel vulnerable and appreciated. 3. It can make you appear more likable and trustworthy. To use selective honesty and generosity, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Use honesty and generosity strategically, only revealing information or giving gifts when it serves your interests. 2. Be aware of the power dynamics in any relationship, and use honesty and generosity to disarm those who pose a threat or challenge to you. 3. Be sincere and genuine in your expressions of honesty and generosity, but be careful not to reveal too much or give too much away. 4. Use honesty and generosity to build alliances and create a sense of trust and cooperation with others. However, Greene also warns that there are risks associated with using selective honesty and generosity. Revealing too much or giving too much away can make you appear weak or vulnerable, and can leave you open to exploitation. Additionally, relying too heavily on these tactics can make you appear manipulative or insincere. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear: using selective honesty and generosity is an effective way to gain trust and disarm others. By using these tactics strategically, being aware of power dynamics, and maintaining a balance between sincerity and strategic use, you can create a sense of trust and cooperation with others. However, it is important to be aware of the risks and potential consequences of using these tactics, and to maintain a balance between honesty and generosity and maintaining your own power and control. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest. The 13th law of power is to appeal to people's self-interest when asking for help. According to the author, when asking others for assistance or support, it is important to frame your request in a way that appeals to their self-interest, rather than simply asking for help out of a sense of obligation or altruism. Greene explains that there are several reasons why appealing to people's self-interest is effective, such as 1. It makes the other person feel valued and important, and can help to build a sense of rapport and trust. 2. It creates a sense of reciprocity, where the other person feels more inclined to help you in return. 3. It is a more effective way to get what you want, as people are generally more willing to help when they feel that there is something in it for them. To appeal to people's self-interest when asking for help, Greene advises several strategies. 1. Frame your request in a way that emphasizes the benefits that the other person will receive if they help you. 2. Be specific about what you are asking for, and why it is important to you. 3. Show appreciation and gratitude for any assistance or support that the other person provides. 4. Look for ways to reciprocate and help the other person in return, to build a sense of trust and cooperation. However, Greene also warns that there are risks associated with appealing to people's self-interest. If you are too manipulative or insincere in your approach, it can backfire and damage your reputation and relationships. Additionally, relying too heavily on self-interest can lead to short-sighted thinking and a lack of consideration for the long-term consequences of your actions. Overall, the message of this chapter is clear. When asking for help, it is important to frame your request in a way that appeals to the other person's self-interest. By doing so, you can build a sense of rapport and trust, create a sense of reciprocity, and increase your chances of getting what you want. However, it is important to be sincere, specific, and appreciative in your approach, and to be aware of the risks and potential consequences of relying too heavily on self-interest. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Chapter 14 of the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is Pose as a Friend, Work as a Spy. In this chapter, the author explains how to gather information and gain an advantage over others by posing as a friend while secretly working as a spy. The idea behind this law is that people tend to let their guard down around friends, and may reveal information that they would otherwise keep hidden. By posing as a friend, you can gain access to valuable information and use it to your advantage. However, Greene warns that this strategy can be risky, as it involves deception and can damage relationships if you are caught. Therefore, he advises using caution and discretion when posing as a friend and gathering information. To successfully pose as a friend while working as a spy, Greene suggests the following strategies. 1. Build a rapport with the person you are targeting. To gain their trust and access to information, it is important to establish a genuine connection and build a relationship with them. 2. Keep your true intentions hidden. Avoid revealing your true motives or intentions, as this can alert the other person to your true purpose and cause them to become suspicious. 3. Use charm and flattery. Make the other person feel important and valued, and use flattery to help build a sense of rapport and trust. 4. Be patient and persistent. Information gathering can take time, so be patient and persistent in your approach. 5. Use discretion. Be careful not to reveal too much information about yourself or your own plans, as this can compromise your position and reveal your true intentions. Greene also emphasizes the importance of being aware of the risks and potential consequences of this strategy. If you are caught posing as a friend and working as a spy, it can damage your reputation and relationships, and may even lead to legal consequences in some cases. In conclusion, the key message of this chapter is that by posing as a friend while working as a spy, you can gather valuable information and gain an advantage over others. However, this strategy involves deception and can be risky, so it is important to use caution and discretion when implementing it. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene presents the 15th law, Crush your enemy totally, which suggests that when facing an enemy, one should not show mercy and instead strive to destroy them completely. Greene believes that leaving any remnants of an enemy can lead to revenge or retaliation, which can come back to harm you. Therefore, the best strategy is to eliminate your enemy's power and crush them completely, leaving no chance for them to regain their strength. To accomplish this, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Remove the source of your enemy's power. Identify the root of their power and take it away from them. This could mean destroying their reputation, taking control of their resources, or removing their allies. 2. Strike quickly and ruthlessly. Do not hesitate to take action against your enemy, and do so without mercy. Swift and decisive action can prevent your enemy from regrouping and fighting back. 3. Create fear and awe. Instill fear in your enemy to prevent them from attempting to seek revenge. This can be achieved by using displays of power and aggression. 4. Eliminate any remaining threats. Even after crushing your enemy, it's important to eliminate any potential threats that may arise in the future. This can be done by taking control of their former allies or taking preemptive action against anyone who may be tempted to seek revenge. However, Greene also warns that this strategy should only be used in extreme circumstances, as it can lead to resentment and fear among your allies and those around you. It can also create enemies where there were none before. In conclusion, crush your enemy totally is a controversial law that suggests eliminating one's enemy completely and leaving no chance for retaliation. While it may be effective in some situations, it should be used with caution and only as a last resort. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene presents the 16th law, use absence to increase respect and honor, which suggests that creating an aura of mystery and using absence can enhance one's reputation, respect, and honor. Greene believes that when someone is constantly present and available, their presence becomes commonplace and their value decreases. However, when someone is absent, they become more intriguing, mysterious, and valuable. Absence creates a sense of longing and desire for that person's presence, which in turn can increase their respect and honor. To implement this law, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Limit your availability. Be careful not to be always available to others, as this can make you seem less important and valuable. Create a sense of scarcity by being selective about when you are available to others. 2. Create an aura of mystery. Use silence and ambiguity to create a sense of intrigue around yourself. By withholding information, you can pique people's curiosity and make them more interested in you. 3. Let others come to you. By taking a step back and letting others come to you, you create an image of someone who is in high demand and exclusive. This can increase your value and make others more respectful of your time and attention. 4. Leave on a high note. Rather than overstaying your welcome or being too available, leave people wanting more by ending interactions on a positive note. This will create a positive association with your absence and make people more eager to see you again. However, Greene also warns that this law should be used with caution and in moderation. Too much absence can lead to isolation and alienation, while too little can lead to familiarity and a decrease in respect. It's important to strike a balance between availability and absence to maintain your reputation and respect. In conclusion, use absence to increase respect and honor suggests that by being selective about when you are available, creating an aura of mystery, and letting others come to you, you can increase your value and enhance your reputation. While it should be used with caution, implementing this law can be an effective way to gain respect and honor in social and professional situations. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene presents the 17th law, keep others in suspended terror, cultivate an air of unpredictability, which suggests that by maintaining an air of unpredictability, one can instill fear in others and gain power over them. Greene believes that people are naturally drawn to stability and predictability. Therefore, by being unpredictable, one can create a sense of fear and uncertainty in others, making them more cautious and submissive. An unpredictable person is seen as dangerous and potentially harmful, and this fear can be used to gain power over others. To implement this law, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Keep people off balance. By changing your behavior and actions frequently, you can keep others guessing and make them unsure of what to expect from you. 2. Be mysterious. Use silence and ambiguity to create a sense of intrigue and make others more cautious around you. By withholding information, you can instill fear in others and gain an advantage over them. 3. Use calculated emotional outbursts. By strategically losing your temper or becoming emotional, you can create a sense of unpredictability and fear in others. 4. Use extreme measures. In extreme situations, use measures that are unexpected or over the top to create a sense of fear and uncertainty in others. However, Greene warns that this law should be used with caution, as too much unpredictability can lead to instability and chaos. It's important to strike a balance between predictability and unpredictability to maintain control and gain power over others. In conclusion, keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability suggests that by being unpredictable and keeping others off balance, one can instill fear in others and gain power over them. While it should be used with caution, implementing this law can be an effective way to gain an advantage in social and professional situations. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene presents the 18th law, do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous, which suggests that isolation can be dangerous and lead to one's downfall. Instead of isolating oneself from others, one should build alliances and networks to gain power and protection. Greene argues that building fortresses, both literal and metaphorical, can create a false sense of security. By isolating oneself from others, one becomes vulnerable to attack and manipulation. In contrast, building alliances and networks provides protection and support, as well as access to resources and information. To implement this law, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Build a network of allies. Develop relationships with others who share your goals and can provide support and protection. These allies can be friends, colleagues, or mentors. 2. Create a strong reputation. Build a reputation for honesty, integrity, and reliability. This will make it easier to build alliances and gain support from others. 3. Be open to new ideas. Avoid becoming too set in your ways and be willing to listen to others. This will make it easier to build alliances with people who have different perspectives and ideas. 4. Avoid becoming too dependent on one person or group. Relying too heavily on one person or group can be dangerous, as it makes you vulnerable to their manipulation and control. In conclusion, do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous suggests that isolation can be dangerous and lead to one's downfall. Instead of isolating oneself, one should build alliances and networks to gain power and protection. By developing relationships with others, building a strong reputation, being open to new ideas, and avoiding becoming too dependent on one person or group, one can gain power and protect oneself from manipulation and attack. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene presents the 19th law, know who you're dealing with, do not offend the wrong person, which emphasizes the importance of knowing your audience and being aware of the potential consequences of your actions. Offending the wrong person can lead to disastrous consequences, and it is essential to know who you are dealing with and to act accordingly. Greene argues that individuals should be aware of the power dynamics and social hierarchies in their environment. The wrong words or actions can quickly offend a person who holds a position of power or influence. It is crucial to understand the underlying power structures and dynamics in a given situation to avoid offending someone who has the power to harm you. To implement this law, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Do your research. Before engaging with someone, take the time to research their background, position, and level of influence. This will give you a better understanding of the power dynamics in the situation and help you avoid offending the wrong person. 2. Be respectful. Show respect to everyone you encounter, regardless of their position or level of influence. This will help you build positive relationships and avoid offending people who may hold power. 3. Choose your battles wisely. Not every conflict is worth engaging in. Sometimes it is better to let small offenses go to avoid offending someone who has the power to harm you. 4. Anticipate reactions. Think about how your words or actions will be perceived by others. Anticipate potential reactions and adjust your behavior accordingly to avoid offending someone who holds power or influence. In conclusion, know who you're dealing with, do not offend the wrong person stresses the importance of understanding power dynamics and social hierarchies to avoid offending someone who has the power to harm you. By researching people's backgrounds, being respectful, choosing your battles wisely, and anticipating reactions, you can avoid offending the wrong person and protect yourself from potential harm. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene presents the 20th law, do not commit to anyone, which advises individuals to avoid committing to any one person or group completely. This law highlights the importance of maintaining a level of independence and flexibility in relationships and avoiding being tied down to any one person or group. According to Greene, committing too fully to a person or group can limit your options and leave you vulnerable to manipulation and control. It is essential to maintain a level of distance and independence in all relationships to protect yourself from being taken advantage of. To implement this law, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Keep your options open. Avoid committing fully to any one person or group. Keep your options open and maintain relationships with a variety of people and groups. 2. Remain independent. Do not become too reliant on any one person or group. Maintain your independence and autonomy to protect yourself from manipulation or control. 3. Be cautious. Be cautious when entering into new relationships or partnerships. Take the time to fully evaluate the situation and the people involved before committing to anything. 4. Maintain flexibility, remain flexible and adaptable in all relationships. Avoid being rigid or inflexible in your thinking or behavior, as this can limit your options and leave you vulnerable. In conclusion, do not commit to anyone stresses the importance of maintaining a level of independence and flexibility in all relationships. By keeping your options open, remaining independent, being cautious, and maintaining flexibility, you can protect yourself from manipulation and control and avoid being tied down to any one person or group. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker, seem dumber than your mark. The 21st law in Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power is play a sucker to catch a sucker, seem dumber than your mark. This law is all about appearing less intelligent or capable than you actually are to catch your opponent off guard and lull them into a false sense of security. The idea is that if you seem less intelligent or competent than your opponent, they will be less likely to suspect your true motives or anticipate your moves. This can give you the advantage in a negotiation or conflict, as you can observe and outmaneuver your opponent without them realizing what you are doing. To apply this law effectively, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Act naive, appear inexperienced or uninformed about a particular subject to catch your opponent off guard. 2. Play dumb, act like you don't understand what is going on to confuse your opponent and make them underestimate you. 3. Use misdirection, use subtle misdirection tactics to shift your opponent's attention away from your true intentions. 4. Use humor, humor can be a powerful tool in disarming your opponent and making them let their guard down. 5. Learn from your opponent, observe your opponent's behavior and use their own tactics against them. However, it is important to note that this law should be used sparingly and carefully. Overplaying the dumb card can backfire and cause your opponent to lose respect for you, which can be difficult to recover from. In conclusion, play a sucker to catch a sucker, seem dumber than your mark is a law about appearing less intelligent or capable than you actually are to catch your opponent off guard. By acting naive, playing dumb, using misdirection, using humor, and learning from your opponent, you can gain the advantage in a negotiation or conflict. However, this law should be used sparingly and with caution to avoid losing the respect of your opponent. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic, transform weakness into power. The 22nd law in Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power is use the surrender tactic, transform weakness into power. This law emphasizes the importance of understanding when to surrender in order to gain power, and how to use the act of surrender to your advantage. According to Greene, there are times when surrendering can actually be a strategic move. Surrendering can show that you are not afraid of admitting defeat and can earn you the respect and admiration of your opponent. Surrendering can also create an opportunity to regroup, re-strategize, and come back stronger. However, surrendering should not be done without careful consideration. It is important to assess the situation and understand the potential consequences of surrendering before making a decision. To use the surrender tactic effectively, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Be willing to lose battles. Sometimes, it is better to lose a battle in order to win the war. Surrendering in a small battle can help you conserve resources and set the stage for a future victory. 2. Admit defeat gracefully. When you do decide to surrender, do it gracefully and with dignity. This can earn you the respect of your opponent and create opportunities for future collaboration. 3. Use your opponent's confidence against them. If your opponent is overconfident, they may let their guard down when you surrender, giving you an opportunity to strike back. 4. Turn defeat into victory. Surrendering can create opportunities to rethink your strategy and come back stronger. Use your time in defeat to learn from your mistakes and find new ways to achieve your goals. 5. Play the long game. Sometimes, the best way to win is to let your opponent think they have won. This can give you the time and space to regroup and come back stronger. In conclusion, use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power is a law about understanding when to surrender in order to gain power, and how to use the act of surrender to your advantage. By being willing to lose battles, admitting defeat gracefully, using your opponent's confidence against them, turning defeat into victory, and playing the long game, you can use surrender to transform weakness into power. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. The 23rd law in Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power is concentrate your forces. This law emphasizes the importance of focusing your resources and efforts on a specific goal or objective, rather than spreading them too thin. According to Greene, concentrating your forces can lead to greater power and success because it allows you to be more efficient and effective. When you concentrate your forces, you can devote more time, energy, and resources to achieving a specific objective, which increases your chances of success. To apply the law of concentration, Greene suggests the following tactics. 1. Identify your objective. Determine what it is that you want to achieve and focus your efforts on that goal. Make sure that your objective is clear and specific. 2. Identify your strengths. Determine what you are good at and concentrate your efforts on those areas. This will allow you to be more efficient and effective. 3. Identify your weaknesses. Determine what you are not good at and either delegate those tasks to others or find ways to improve your skills. 4. Be strategic. Develop a plan that focuses your efforts on achieving your objective. This plan should be flexible enough to allow for changes and adjustments as necessary. 5. Be disciplined. Stay focused on your objective and resist the urge to be distracted by other opportunities or objectives. 6. Be patient. Concentrating your forces can take time, so be patient and persistent in your efforts. In conclusion, concentrate your forces is a law about the importance of focusing your resources and efforts on a specific objective. By identifying your objective, strengths, and weaknesses, being strategic, disciplined, and patient, you can concentrate your forces and increase your chances of success. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Play the perfect courtier is the 24th law in Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power. This law emphasizes the importance of appearing to be a loyal and valuable member of a powerful person's court or inner circle, in order to gain their favor and influence. According to Greene, a courtier is someone who seeks to gain the favor of a powerful person or ruler, in order to advance their own interests. In order to be a successful courtier, Greene recommends the following tactics. 1. Show loyalty. Demonstrate your loyalty to the powerful person or ruler by aligning yourself with their interests, defending them against their enemies, and always being on their side. 2. Be indispensable. Find ways to make yourself indispensable to the powerful person or ruler by offering your services, expertise, or resources that they cannot do without. 3. Be charming and engaging. Cultivate a charming and engaging personality that attracts people to you and makes them want to be around you. 4. Flatter and praise. Use flattery and praise to win the favor of the powerful person or ruler. However, be careful not to overdo it, as this can backfire. 5. Be discreet. Keep your own interests and ambitions hidden, and never speak ill of the powerful person or ruler or their inner circle. 6. Be patient. Courtship takes time, so be patient and persistent in your efforts. In summary, Play the Perfect Courtier is a law about the importance of appearing to be a loyal and valuable member of a powerful person's court or inner circle. By showing loyalty, being indispensable, charming and engaging, flattery and praise, being discreet, and being patient, you can gain the favor of the powerful person or ruler and advance your own interests. However, it is important to note that this law does not endorse deceitful or unethical behavior and should be used ethically and responsibly. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Recreate yourself is the 25th law in Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power. This law emphasizes the importance of reinventing yourself in order to achieve success and power. According to Greene, people are often stuck in their current circumstances due to their past actions and decisions. Therefore, to break free from these limitations, one must be willing to recreate themselves and their image. This involves several key tactics. 1. Shed your old skin. To truly recreate yourself, you must be willing to shed your old skin and let go of your past. This may involve abandoning old habits, beliefs, and even relationships that no longer serve your best interests. 2. Be a master of change. Embrace change and be willing to adapt to new circumstances. This means being flexible and open-minded, and not getting attached to any one particular way of doing things. 3. Create a powerful new identity. In order to gain power and influence, you must create a powerful new identity for yourself that reflects your new goals and aspirations. This may involve changing your appearance, behavior, and even your name. 4. Keep your plans hidden. When recreating yourself, it is important to keep your plans hidden from others, especially those who may have a vested interest in keeping you in your current position. 5. Cultivate an air of mystery. To increase your power and influence, cultivate an air of mystery and unpredictability. This means not revealing too much about yourself or your plans, and always keeping others guessing. 6. Master the art of timing. To be successful in recreating yourself, you must master the art of timing. This means knowing when to make your move, and when to hold back and wait for the right opportunity. In summary, recreate yourself is a law about the importance of reinventing yourself in order to achieve success and power. By shedding your old skin, being a master of change, creating a powerful new identity, keeping your plans hidden, cultivating an air of mystery, and mastering the art of timing, you can break free from your limitations and achieve your goals. However, it is important to note that this law does not endorse deceitful or unethical behavior and should be used ethically and responsibly. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Keep your hands clean is the 26th law in Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power. This law advises people to avoid involvement in dirty or unethical actions that may tarnish their reputation and limit their potential for success. According to Greene, maintaining a clean image is essential for gaining and maintaining power. People are attracted to those who they perceive to be virtuous and trustworthy, and repelled by those who engage in deceitful or immoral behavior. Therefore, to increase your power and influence, it is important to keep your hands clean by avoiding involvement in questionable activities. To keep your hands clean, Greene advises: 1. Avoid association with shady characters. Do not associate with people who have a reputation for unethical behavior, as their reputation can tarnish your own. 2. Do not compromise your values. Stick to your own moral code, even if it means turning down opportunities that may compromise your principles. 3. Do not get your hands dirty. Avoid direct involvement in dirty or unethical actions, such as lying, cheating, or stealing. 4. Use proxies to do your dirty work. If you must engage in questionable activities, use proxies or intermediaries to do the dirty work for you. 5. Cover your tracks. If you do engage in questionable activities, make sure to cover your tracks and leave no trace of your involvement. 6. Create a reputation of virtue. Act with integrity and develop a reputation for honesty and virtue, as this will enhance your power and influence. In summary, keep your hands clean is a law about the importance of maintaining a clean image in order to increase your power and influence. By avoiding association with shady characters, not compromising your values, avoiding direct involvement in unethical actions, using proxies to do dirty work, covering your tracks, and creating a reputation of virtue, you can enhance your image and increase your potential for success. However, it is important to note that this law does not endorse unethical or illegal behavior and should be used ethically and responsibly. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following is the 27th law in Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power. This law advises individuals to tap into people's natural desire to believe in something greater than themselves, in order to create a loyal and devoted following. Greene explains that people have a natural need to believe in something, whether it is a higher power, an ideology, or a charismatic leader. By appealing to this need, one can create a sense of belonging and purpose in others, which can lead to the creation of a cult-like following. This type of following is characterized by a deep devotion and loyalty to the leader or idea, often to the point of irrationality. To create a cult-like following, Greene suggests several strategies. 1. Create a grand vision. Develop a compelling and grandiose vision that appeals to people's emotions and sense of purpose. 2. Use symbols and rituals. Develop symbols, rituals, and other ceremonies that reinforce the group's identity and sense of belonging. 3. Foster a sense of community. Create a sense of community and belonging among members, and encourage them to support each other and work towards common goals. 4. Develop a charismatic persona. Develop a charismatic persona that inspires trust and devotion in others. 5. Use propaganda and mind control techniques. Use propaganda, mind control techniques, and other forms of manipulation to maintain the loyalty of followers. 6. Create an us versus them mentality. Foster an us versus them mentality among members, and encourage them to view outsiders as a threat to the group's identity and values. While creating a cult-like following can be a powerful tool for gaining and maintaining power, Greene warns that it can also be dangerous and unethical. Leaders who abuse their power can cause harm to both their followers and society as a whole. Therefore, it is important to use this law ethically and responsibly. In summary, play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following is a law that advises individuals to tap into people's natural desire to believe in something greater than themselves, in order to create a loyal and devoted following. By creating a grand vision, using symbols and rituals, fostering a sense of community, developing a charismatic persona, using propaganda and mind control techniques, and creating an us versus them mentality, individuals can create a cult-like following. However, it is important to use this law ethically and responsibly, and not to abuse the power gained from a cult-like following. Law 28: Interaction with Boldness. The chapter Interaction with Boldness from the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene emphasizes the importance of taking bold action when seeking to achieve success or attain power. The chapter argues that hesitation and timidity are signs of weakness, and that those who are bold and decisive are more likely to succeed in their pursuits. The chapter begins by highlighting how people are often held back by their own fears and doubts, and how these can lead to missed opportunities and regret. The author states that those who are able to overcome their fears and act with boldness are more likely to achieve their goals and gain respect from others. The chapter then goes on to provide examples of historical figures who embodied the principle of boldness in their actions, such as Napoleon Bonaparte, who was known for his daring military campaigns and willingness to take risks, and Benjamin Franklin, who was able to build his reputation and influence through his bold ideas and actions. The author also provides tips on how to cultivate a mindset of boldness and overcome the fear of failure. These include recognizing and challenging negative self-talk, embracing risk and uncertainty, and seeking out new challenges and opportunities. However, the chapter also warns against reckless and impulsive actions, emphasizing the importance of careful planning and strategic thinking. The author encourages readers to weigh the risks and rewards of each decision before taking action, and to learn from their mistakes and failures. Overall, the chapter Interaction with Boldness promotes the idea that taking bold and decisive action is essential for achieving success and gaining power. By overcoming fears and doubts, and embracing risk and uncertainty, individuals can increase their chances of achieving their goals and making a lasting impact in their personal and professional lives. Law 29: Plan all the way to the end. The chapter Plan all the way to the end from the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene emphasizes the importance of having a clear and strategic plan when pursuing goals or seeking to attain power. The chapter argues that those who are able to plan ahead and anticipate obstacles and challenges are more likely to succeed in their endeavors. The chapter begins by highlighting how many people fail to plan for the long term and instead focus on short-term gains, which can ultimately lead to failure or stagnation. The author argues that a well-crafted plan should take into account not only immediate goals, but also long-term objectives and potential obstacles. The chapter then goes on to provide examples of historical figures who embodied the principle of planning ahead in their actions, such as Julius Caesar, who was able to anticipate and overcome his enemies through careful planning and strategic thinking, and Queen Elizabeth I, who was able to solidify her power through a carefully crafted succession plan. The author also provides tips on how to develop a strategic plan, including setting clear and specific goals, identifying potential obstacles and challenges, and considering various scenarios and outcomes. The chapter emphasizes the importance of flexibility and adaptability, encouraging readers to adjust their plans as needed in response to changing circumstances. However, the chapter also warns against becoming too rigid or inflexible in one's planning, noting that unforeseen circumstances and events can often derail even the most well-crafted plans. The author encourages readers to maintain a balance between flexibility and structure, and to be willing to adjust their plans as needed in response to changing circumstances. Overall, the chapter Plan all the way to the end promotes the idea that strategic planning is essential for achieving success and gaining power. By taking a long-term view and anticipating potential obstacles and challenges, individuals can increase their chances of achieving their goals and making a lasting impact in their personal and professional lives. Law 30: Make your accomplishments seem effortless. The chapter Make Your Accomplishments Seem Effortless from the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene discusses the importance of appearing effortless and natural in one's accomplishments. The chapter argues that those who are able to make their achievements appear effortless are more likely to gain the admiration and respect of others, which can ultimately lead to greater power and success. The chapter begins by highlighting the tendency of many people to showcase their hard work and effort, believing that this will earn them more praise and recognition. However, the author argues that this approach can actually be counterproductive, as it can come across as try-hard or insincere. Instead, the chapter suggests that individuals should aim to make their accomplishments appear effortless and natural, as if they were simply a natural extension of their talents and abilities. The author provides examples of historical figures who were able to make their accomplishments appear effortless, such as Fred Astaire, who was known for his graceful and effortless dancing style, and Leonardo da Vinci, who was able to create masterful works of art seemingly without effort or struggle. The chapter argues that these individuals were able to achieve such feats by combining their natural talents with a deep understanding of their craft, and by honing their skills through years of practice and refinement. The chapter also provides tips on how to make one's accomplishments appear effortless, such as by avoiding self-promotion and grandstanding, and by remaining calm and composed in the face of challenges or setbacks. The author emphasizes the importance of cultivating a sense of ease and confidence, and of striving to make one's actions appear effortless and natural. However, the chapter also warns against appearing too lazy or indifferent, as this can undermine one's credibility and lead to a perception of incompetence. The author encourages readers to strike a balance between appearing effortless and demonstrating a sincere commitment to their work and goals. Overall, the chapter Make Your Accomplishments Seem Effortless promotes the idea that appearing effortless and natural in one's accomplishments is key to gaining the admiration and respect of others. By combining natural talent with a deep understanding of one's craft, and by striving to make one's actions appear effortless and natural, individuals can increase their chances of achieving success and gaining power. Law 31. Control the options, get others to play with the cards you deal. The chapter, Control the Options, Get Others to Play with the Cards You Deal from Robert Greene's book The 48 Laws of Power discusses the importance of controlling the options available to others in order to gain power and influence. According to Greene, the person who controls the options has the power in any given situation. This is because they are able to set the terms of the interaction and force others to respond to their agenda. By controlling the options, you are able to shape the circumstances in your favor and limit the choices available to others. The key to controlling the options is to understand the needs and desires of the people you are dealing with. By knowing what they want, you can create a situation where the only viable option is the one that benefits you. This can be accomplished through various means, such as setting up a situation where the only way for someone to get what they want is to do what you want, or by creating a sense of urgency that forces people to act quickly without thinking things through. In order to effectively control the options, you must also be able to influence the perceptions of others. This can be accomplished through the use of propaganda, public relations, and other forms of media manipulation. By controlling the narrative and shaping the way people perceive a situation, you can influence their behavior and get them to act in your favor. Another key aspect of controlling the options is to maintain a position of strength. This means that you should always be prepared to walk away from a situation if it is not in your best interest. By maintaining a position of strength, you are able to control the options and force others to play by your rules. In summary, controlling the options is an essential strategy for gaining power and influence. By understanding the needs and desires of others, shaping the circumstances in your favor, and influencing perceptions, you can control the options and get others to play with the cards you deal. Law 32. Play to People's Fantasies. The chapter Play to People's Fantasies from the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene discusses the importance of understanding people's desires and tapping into them in order to gain power and influence over them. Greene argues that people are often driven by their fantasies and that those who can satisfy those fantasies have the ability to gain control over them. Greene suggests that people have a deep need for distraction and entertainment in their lives, and that those who can provide it will be able to captivate their attention and gain their loyalty. He cites historical examples such as Louis XIV of France, who used elaborate court ceremonies and spectacles to distract and entertain his subjects, and the Roman emperors who staged lavish games and competitions to keep the people happy and distracted. Greene also points out that people are often drawn to charismatic individuals who embody their fantasies and desires, and who can provide a sense of hope and purpose. He uses the example of cult leaders who promise their followers a better life and a higher purpose, and who are able to manipulate and control them through their charisma and their ability to play on their fantasies. However, Greene warns that it is important to understand the limits of this approach. He notes that people are often suspicious of those who appear to be trying to manipulate them, and that it is important to be subtle and indirect in one's approach. He suggests that the key is to understand people's desires and to subtly suggest ways in which they can be fulfilled, rather than trying to force them to conform to one's own agenda. Overall, the chapter Play to People's Fantasies emphasizes the importance of understanding people's desires and using them to gain power and influence. It cautions, however, that this approach must be used carefully and with subtlety, in order to avoid being seen as manipulative or deceitful. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. In Discover Each Man's Thumbscrew, Robert Greene advises that people have their weaknesses or vulnerabilities, and these can be used to manipulate them. By identifying someone's thumbscrew, a person can exert control over them and make them more susceptible to manipulation. The first step is to identify the person's thumbscrew. This is a weakness or vulnerability that the person has, and it can be anything from a desire for power or attention to a fear of failure or rejection. Once identified, the person can use this thumbscrew to manipulate the individual. The next step is to use subtle tactics to exploit the person's thumbscrew. This can be done through flattery, playing to their desires, or creating a sense of insecurity that the person seeks to address. By exploiting the thumbscrew, the person can gain leverage over the individual and control their behavior. However, it is essential to be subtle in the approach, as being too obvious or aggressive can backfire and cause the person to become defensive. The individual must also be careful not to overdo it, as too much manipulation can cause the person to become resentful or suspicious. Ultimately, the goal is to gain the upper hand in the relationship and use it to achieve one's goals. By discovering each man's thumbscrew, a person can gain a significant advantage in any situation and increase their chances of success. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion, act like a king to be treated like one. In Be Royal in Your Own Fashion, Act Like a King to be Treated Like One, Robert Greene advocates for adopting a regal demeanor in one's personal and professional life. By emulating the behavior of a king, an individual can command respect, gain influence, and increase their chances of success. The first step is to adopt a regal mindset. This involves cultivating a sense of confidence and self-assurance, as well as a sense of purpose and direction. By having a clear vision of one's goals and aspirations, a person can project an air of authority that inspires respect and admiration. The next step is to adopt regal behavior. This involves projecting a sense of dignity and poise in one's interactions with others, as well as being gracious and generous in one's dealings. By treating others with respect and consideration, a person can foster a sense of loyalty and admiration that can pay dividends in the long run. Another key aspect of acting like a king is projecting an image of power and authority. This can be done through the use of clothing, accessories, and other symbols of wealth and status. By projecting an image of success and affluence, a person can command respect and admiration from others. Finally, it is essential to maintain a sense of humility and perspective. Even while projecting an image of power and authority, it is important to recognize one's limitations and to treat others with kindness and consideration. By doing so, a person can create a sense of camaraderie and cooperation that can help them achieve their goals. Overall, Be Royal in Your Own Fashion, Act Like a King to be Treated Like One encourages individuals to adopt a regal demeanor and project an image of power and authority in their personal and professional lives. By doing so, they can command respect, gain influence, and increase their chances of success. Law 35. Master the Art of Timing. The chapter Master the Art of Timing from the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene emphasizes the importance of timing in achieving success. The chapter begins by stating that there are critical moments in life where the right timing can make all the difference. It goes on to suggest that being able to read the timing of a situation can be the difference between success and failure. The author argues that timing is a skill that can be developed and mastered with practice. He provides examples of individuals who have successfully mastered the art of timing, such as Napoleon Bonaparte, who was able to time his movements on the battlefield to achieve victory. The chapter then explores the concept of right time versus wrong time. The author suggests that success often depends on being in the right place at the right time, and that individuals who are able to recognize and take advantage of opportunities as they arise are more likely to succeed. The author also discusses the importance of patience when it comes to timing. He notes that sometimes waiting for the right moment can be more effective than trying to force a situation. He provides examples of individuals who are able to achieve success by waiting patiently for the right opportunity to arise. The chapter concludes by suggesting that mastering the art of timing requires a combination of intuition, experience, and careful observation. By developing these skills, individuals can learn to recognize and take advantage of opportunities as they arise, and increase their chances of achieving success. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have, ignoring them is the best revenge. The 36th law in the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is, disdain things you cannot have, ignoring them is the best revenge. This chapter suggests that one should learn to ignore things that cannot be attained, as this can be an effective way to achieve revenge. Focusing on what cannot be attained only creates bitterness and frustration, which can lead to self-destructive behavior. The chapter begins by explaining that there will always be things that we cannot have, such as a particular job or a romantic relationship with someone who is not interested. It is important to recognize and accept this fact in order to move on and find satisfaction in other areas of life. The desire for what cannot be attained can be a destructive force that drains energy and motivation. The author suggests that rather than dwelling on what cannot be attained, one should focus on the things that can be achieved. This can include improving oneself, developing skills, and building relationships with people who can offer support and help in achieving goals. By focusing on these areas, one can achieve a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that can provide a sense of revenge against the things that cannot be attained. The chapter also warns against envy, as this can be a destructive emotion that can lead to negative outcomes. Envy can create a sense of bitterness and resentment that can prevent one from achieving success and happiness. It is important to recognize and appreciate the things that one does have, rather than focusing on what cannot be attained. The author provides several examples of individuals who were able to achieve success by ignoring what they could not have. These include Alfred Nobel, who created the Nobel Prize as a way of leaving a positive legacy after feeling guilty about the destructive uses of dynamite, which he had invented. The chapter also cites the example of the Roman general Fabius Maximus, who used a strategy of avoiding direct conflict with the more powerful Carthaginian army in order to wear them down and ultimately achieve victory. In summary, the 36th law of power suggests that one should ignore the things that cannot be attained, as this can lead to bitterness and frustration. Instead, one should focus on achieving success in other areas of life, such as personal growth, skill development, and building relationships. By doing so, one can achieve a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that can provide a sense of revenge against the things that cannot be attained. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. The chapter Create Compelling Spectacles from Robert Greene's book The 48 Laws of Power emphasizes the importance of creating impressive and captivating spectacles to gain the attention and admiration of people. The law states that humans are attracted to the spectacular, the grandiose, and the larger than life, and that one should always create a spectacle that is so captivating that people will want to come back for more. The chapter provides historical examples of individuals who successfully employed this tactic, such as Alexander the Great, who would stage elaborate battles and conquests to impress his followers, or Napoleon, who would have grandiose coronation ceremonies to assert his power and authority. Greene emphasizes that creating a spectacle requires a keen understanding of the audience, as well as a strong sense of showmanship and timing. He also warns against overuse of this tactic, as it can quickly become repetitive and lose its impact. The chapter concludes by stating that creating compelling spectacles requires a balance of authenticity and theatricality, and that mastering this art can greatly enhance one's power and influence. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. The chapter Think as you like, but behave like others in the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene focuses on the idea of fitting in and conforming to social norms in order to gain power and influence. Greene argues that while it is important to have your own thoughts and ideas, it is also important to blend in with the social group and act in accordance with their expectations. This is because people are more likely to trust and accept those who appear to be like them. In order to fit in and gain influence, one must be aware of the social norms and expectations of the group and act accordingly. However, Greene also emphasizes that one must not completely lose their individuality in the process. It is important to maintain a sense of self and identity, while also fitting in with the group. Overall, the key takeaway from this chapter is that in order to gain power and influence, it is important to strike a balance between being true to oneself while also conforming to the expectations of the group. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. The 39 RD law in Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power is stir up waters to catch fish. The main idea of this chapter is that in order to get what you want, you must create a sense of urgency and desperation in the people around you. You must make them feel like they need you and what you have to offer, even if they don't necessarily want it. Greene argues that people tend to be complacent and apathetic, and therefore it is important to shake them out of their routine and get them to pay attention to you. This can be achieved by creating a crisis or a sense of urgency that forces people to take notice of you and what you have to offer. One of the key strategies in this law is to create a sense of competition among your potential allies or clients. By making them feel like they are in competition with each other, they will be more likely to act quickly and decisively. This can be achieved by creating a sense of scarcity or exclusivity around what you are offering, and by making it clear that others are interested in it as well. Another important strategy is to create a sense of instability or uncertainty in the people around you. By making them feel like things are unpredictable or chaotic, they will be more likely to look to you for guidance and support. This can be achieved by spreading rumors or misinformation, by exaggerating threats or dangers, or by highlighting the potential consequences of inaction. Overall, the key message of this law is that in order to succeed, you must be able to create a sense of urgency and desperation in the people around you. By stirring up the waters and creating a crisis, you can get people to pay attention to you and what you have to offer, and ultimately get what you want. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. The chapter Despise the Free Lunch from the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene discusses the dangers of accepting favors or gifts from others. Greene suggests that nothing is truly free and that accepting something for nothing creates an unspoken obligation between the giver and the receiver. Greene argues that accepting a free lunch or a favor from someone can make you feel indebted to that person, even if you didn't want or need the thing they offered. This can create a power dynamic where the giver has the upper hand and can use the obligation to manipulate the receiver in the future. To avoid this trap, Greene advises readers to be self-sufficient and to avoid accepting anything for free. He suggests that you should always pay for what you want or need, and that you should never rely on the generosity of others. Furthermore, Greene warns against taking shortcuts in life or expecting something for nothing. He argues that success requires hard work and perseverance, and that relying on free handouts or favors will ultimately lead to failure. In conclusion, Despise the Free Lunch is a warning against accepting favors or gifts from others, as it can create an unspoken obligation that can be used to manipulate you in the future. Instead, Greene advises readers to be self-sufficient and to avoid shortcuts, as true success requires hard work and dedication. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. The chapter Avoid Stepping into a Great Man's Shoes from the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is centered around the idea that it is difficult to replace a great man and that it is better to create your own identity and legacy than to try to fill someone else's shoes. Greene begins the chapter with a quote from Friedrich Nietzsche: "One should never meet one's heroes. The disappointment is always too great." He argues that the reason for this disappointment is that great men are unique, and it is impossible to fill their shoes. Greene then provides several examples of people who have tried and failed to follow in the footsteps of great men, including historical figures such as Julius Caesar and Napoleon Bonaparte, as well as contemporary figures such as Steve Jobs and Walt Disney. The author also highlights the importance of creating your own identity and legacy, stating that great men did not become great by trying to be like someone else. Instead, they forged their own paths and left their own marks on history. Greene suggests that people can create their own identity and legacy by developing a unique skill set or area of expertise, cultivating their own personal style, and surrounding themselves with a strong support network. He also advises against trying to copy the external trappings of success, such as expensive clothing or flashy cars, as these do not reflect true success or greatness. In conclusion, the chapter Avoid Stepping into a Great Man's Shoes emphasizes the importance of creating your own identity and legacy rather than trying to fill someone else's shoes. Greene argues that great men are unique and cannot be replaced, and that true greatness comes from forging your own path and leaving your own mark on history. Law 42. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter is the 42nd law in Robert Greene's book The 48 Laws of Power. The main idea behind this law is that when you want to destabilize an organization, a company, or a group, you should aim to remove the leader or the person in charge, and the rest of the members will scatter or become much easier to control. According to the author, leaders often have a strong and charismatic personality, and they are the ones who hold the group together. By targeting the leader, you remove the glue that keeps the group united, and they become vulnerable to manipulation and control. Greene provides many examples from history where this law was applied successfully, such as when the U.S. government took down Al Capone by arresting him for tax evasion, rather than for his more serious crimes. Another example is when the Mongol army captured the king of Khwarezm, and his army immediately scattered, allowing the Mongols to take control of the region easily. However, the author also warns that if you are planning to apply this law, you should be careful and make sure that you have the resources and the ability to control the aftermath. If you remove the leader, but fail to establish a new one, or fail to gain control over the members, you might end up creating chaos or even a power vacuum that will be hard to fill. The key takeaway from this law is that if you want to take control of a group or an organization, you should focus on removing the leader, rather than trying to fight against the whole group. By doing so, you can create an opportunity for yourself to take over and gain power. However, this approach requires careful planning and execution, and it may not always be the best strategy, depending on the situation. Law 43 Work on the Hearts and Minds of Others. The chapter Work on the Hearts and Minds of Others in the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is about the power of persuasion and the ability to influence others. The chapter outlines various techniques that can be used to persuade people to your way of thinking, including using emotional appeals, playing on people's desires and fears, and appealing to their self-interest. The chapter begins by emphasizing the importance of understanding the emotional and psychological needs of others. According to Greene, people are driven by their emotions and desires, and a skilled persuader must be able to tap into these underlying motivations in order to influence their behavior. He suggests that one way to do this is by creating a sense of excitement or passion around an idea or goal, which can then be used to motivate people to take action. Another technique that Greene advocates is the use of subtle persuasion tactics, such as the foot in the door technique, which involves making a small request of someone before asking for something larger. This approach can help to build trust and establish a sense of reciprocity between the persuader and the person being influenced. Greene also discusses the importance of appealing to people's self-interest, particularly when trying to persuade them to take a particular course of action. He suggests that people are more likely to be motivated by the prospect of personal gain or advantage than by abstract ideals or values. In addition to these tactics, Greene also emphasizes the importance of credibility and authenticity in persuasion. He suggests that a skilled persuader must be able to convey a sense of sincerity and honesty, and must be willing to put their own interests aside in order to build trust and establish a sense of rapport with the person being influenced. Overall, the chapter Work on the Hearts and Minds of Others emphasizes the importance of understanding the emotional and psychological needs of others, and provides a range of techniques for influencing their behavior and persuading them to take a particular course of action. Whether you are trying to persuade a colleague, friend, or family member, these techniques can help you to become a more effective and persuasive communicator. Law 44 Disarm and Infuriate with the Mirror Effect. The 44th law in the book The 48 Laws of Power is Disarm and Infuriate with the Mirror Effect. This law is based on the principle of using someone's own weapons against them, also known as the mirror effect. The main idea of this law is to use the mirror effect as a way of disarming and infuriating your opponent. The mirror effect involves reflecting someone's behavior back at them, essentially mirroring their actions and attitudes. By doing so, you can disarm them by making them feel understood, and at the same time infuriate them by exposing their own flaws. The chapter gives examples of how the mirror effect can be used in various situations. For instance, if someone is trying to insult you, you can use the mirror effect by agreeing with them, essentially taking away their power to insult you. By agreeing with them, you are reflecting their insults back at them, which can be disarming and infuriating. The chapter also warns that the mirror effect should be used with caution, as it can be a double-edged sword. If you mirror someone's negative behavior, it can backfire and make you appear just as negative as they are. Therefore, it is important to use the mirror effect in a positive way, by reflecting positive behavior and attitudes. Overall, the 25th law encourages readers to use the mirror effect as a way of disarming and infuriating their opponents. By reflecting someone's behavior back at them, you can take away their power and even turn their own behavior against them. However, it is important to use this tactic carefully and in a positive manner, as it can be a double-edged sword. Law 45 preached the need for change, but never reform too much at once. The chapter preached the need for change, but never reform too much at once from the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene explains the importance of balance and moderation when implementing change in any organization or society. The chapter begins by pointing out that people generally resist change, especially if it is sudden and drastic. Therefore, it is important to preach the need for change gradually, over a period of time, so that people can become accustomed to the idea and gradually accept it. The chapter then goes on to explain the dangers of implementing too much change at once. According to the author, sudden and radical change can be destabilizing and can cause people to become fearful and uncertain. This can lead to resistance, rebellion, and even violence. Instead of sudden and radical change, the author recommends that change should be implemented gradually and in a way that allows people to adjust and adapt to it. He suggests that change should be introduced in small, incremental steps that are easy to accept and understand. The author also emphasizes the importance of maintaining stability and order while implementing change. He warns that too much change can cause chaos and confusion, which can lead to the breakdown of the organization or society. In addition, the author recommends that leaders should focus on improving the existing system rather than trying to replace it with a completely new one. He argues that people are more likely to accept changes that build upon existing structures and systems, rather than ones that completely replace them. Law 46 Never Appear Too Perfect. The chapter Never Appear Too Perfect from Robert Greene's book The 48 Laws of Power discusses how displaying too much perfection in front of others can be a mistake. The chapter states that it is better to maintain a certain level of imperfection, as people tend to be intimidated by perfection and may become jealous or resentful. By being less than perfect, a person appears more relatable and less threatening to others. The chapter offers several examples from history, where individuals who were too perfect or too successful faced backlash from those around them. For instance, Julius Caesar's overconfidence in his invincibility ultimately led to his assassination. Similarly, Queen Elizabeth I of England strategically downplayed her intelligence and beauty to prevent any potential challenges to her power. The chapter suggests that people should strive for excellence but should also be aware of how their perfection might be perceived by others. By being aware of this, individuals can control how they are perceived by those around them and avoid becoming the target of envy or resentment. Additionally, the chapter suggests that individuals should be aware of their weaknesses and shortcomings and not try to hide them. By acknowledging their flaws, individuals appear more human and relatable, which can help them gain the trust and support of others. In conclusion, the chapter Never Appear Too Perfect emphasizes the importance of appearing human and relatable to others. By acknowledging one's imperfections and weaknesses, individuals can avoid becoming the target of envy and resentment and instead gain the trust and support of those around them. Law 47 Do not go past the mark you aim for. In victory, learn when to stop. The chapter Do not go past the mark you aim for. In victory, learn when to stop from the 48 Laws of Power focuses on the importance of knowing when to stop, both in victory and in the pursuit of a goal. The author argues that there is a point of diminishing returns, beyond which continued effort becomes counterproductive. This is because excess can be seen as arrogance or greed, and can make others feel threatened or resentful. Instead, one should learn to stop at the right time, leaving something for others to desire and preserving one's reputation. In terms of victory, the author advises that one should not push too far beyond the initial goal, as this can lead to overreaching and a backlash. Instead, it is important to know when to declare victory and move on, avoiding the temptation to dominate and control others. The chapter illustrates this law with several historical examples, including the story of Midas, who was granted the power to turn everything he touched to gold but ultimately lost everything he held dear because of his inability to stop. Other examples include the conquests of Alexander the Great and Napoleon Bonaparte, who both suffered defeats when they overreached and went beyond their initial goals. The chapter concludes with the author's advice to cultivate a sense of moderation, to always keep one's ultimate goal in mind, and to be aware of the potential consequences of overreaching. By doing so, one can achieve success without risking everything and can maintain the respect and admiration of others. Law 48. Assume formlessness. Assume formlessness is the final law in Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power. This law advises individuals to adopt a formless approach to their actions and strategies. The idea is that by remaining flexible and adaptable, one can navigate various situations and opponents successfully. According to Greene, those who are rigid and inflexible in their approach will eventually become predictable, which can lead to their downfall. In contrast, those who can adapt to changing circumstances and remain unpredictable can maintain their power and control. The law of assumed formlessness is about being prepared for anything and remaining open to new ideas and opportunities. It is about not being confined to a particular approach or ideology and being willing to change as needed. Greene offers several examples of this principle in action, including the tactics used by the legendary Chinese general Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu was known for his ability to adapt his strategies to the specific circumstances of each battle, which allowed him to achieve victory even when he was outnumbered or outmatched. Overall, assumed formlessness is about embracing flexibility and adaptability as a means of maintaining power and control. By remaining open to new ideas and approaches, individuals can stay one step ahead of their opponents and remain successful in their pursuits.